Hello everyone, Happy New Year. Back with another video here. Today we're going to have a game that's on Nova Lake. Fun wee map. Exactly what it says on the tin there. You've got a lake with some Nova in it. Here on this little island. Full of tusk cats. So, objective, you would say, on this map is probably to control this. I guess you could kill your opponents quicker than you would need to control this, but if you control this, you're going to be at a huge advantage in terms of the Nova units that you can throw in. So here we've got myself, we've got RVA, and Esty versus Yoda, Attack, and the mighty Thrawn over here. I'm going to speed it up a little bit and just make it through the early game. See, there's a bunch of nerfs that we can put in the nurseries to get that extra food income to supplement us, and there's some berries that we can munch on as well. But the big ticket thing would be that there's a lake full of fish and also beasts. This is probably the most beasts I've ever seen in one place in the old water. The Colo clawfish, the OPC killers. So not a third one. I forget what the third. I'm pretty sure there's a third one. Maybe I'm wrong though. Who knows? I can't remember. If there's a third one, it's just not diverse enough. But anyway, we've got the mighty Gungans on our team here, which are absolutely batshit insane on water maps because their boats basically cost nothing. You see a lot of nerfs have been found by Yoda here, herded into a corner away from Esty. But he's not brave enough to just send them back. Imagine with this tree line, they're going to get spotted and swiped back into Esty's hands. It's a nice double carbon here for RVA as he gets his shipyard up. Built his power core in a safe location. He's just going to put his power droid over. Maybe afraid of getting cheesed with some frigates and losing the power. Bunch of fishing here for myself, and oh, the attacks Gungans as well, so it's double Gungans here. I think it's a mirror, is it? Yeah, the mirrored civs. So each team's got the same civilizations, the same factions. You can see that Thrawn has shot up to T2 a lot quicker than ourselves, so he's not actually fished, he's just dumped everything into getting up his tech quickly. He's grabbing some holocrons as well, and he's trying to take us off the water here. But we're going to go for a brute force approach here and just make 3 shipyards and try to throw out the units fast enough to deal with it. And if we can stabilise, then we can just fish, you know. Built a turret here as well, just to have a little spot that you can stockpile them. Try not get overwhelmed too much. Building another turret as well. On the other side of things, RVA just fishing away here. And Yoda is just playing kind of standard, not fishing or anything like that, just trying to T3. He's got a ton of nerfs though, so he's going to have quite a quick tech time, I would say. And quite a strong double air base play when he hits tech level 3. RV though does have a lot of nerfs as well. We've just got the 2 nurseries here. And these guys are still sitting in a corner. But managed to clean up the boats here just by building a bunch, because it's 1 shipyard versus 3. You eventually win, especially with the turret there as well, just guaranteeing the safety while the reinforcements are built. And on the counter attack, unfortunate for Thrawn, he can actually harass his workers here and his power core. Attack is beginning his great journey of having to clear out all of these beasts in the ocean. Looks like Thrawn might give him a hand. He can at least go invisible with his Gungan boats. Nice little bonus that he's got there. Just saying that Thrawn very vulnerable to air, because he's now spending over on a turret as well. The other side of things, Esty try to harass here. But he's harassing someone that's just got tons of nerfs. They're not going to feel it. And as you can see, he's just sending his air across. Not worried in the least by this lone frigate harass. There's a troop centre down, but there's no anti-air troopers out as of yet. And no T3 either, I don't think. Oh, here's T3, just no turrets, no, nothing. Just getting pinned down by the double airbase. Managed to throw out some anti-air troopers to deal with this. I'm going for the nursery as well. It's really unfortunate sort of placement here for Thrawn's base, because it's just surrounded by water. Extremely vulnerable. Just here we've got the tree lines to sort of cushion ourselves, but in this case it's all behind. It is a nice tree line though. He's got a very nice safe wall, but losing the water dominance, causing some problems. So attack's still not cleared out all of the beasts in the sea yet. Rva just chilling here, got a bunch of boats out. He is being counter-attacked now. These frigates from attack, doing some damage to him. Esty managed to get an anti-air turret up, so he's stabilised a little bit, but super behind. Let's fix the scores. Thrawn hitting T3, throwing out some air here. Anti-air turret down and anti-air destroyers out. Attack making destroyers to try and deal with all these beasts of the sea. You can see Rva building up his network of spies. Getting some great vision with these sensor boils. Boys, I can never pronounce that word half the time. So these fighters are going to intercept Yodas here. Might get a decent trade, but it probably just could be a 1-for-1. Just because of the sheer number difference. But it makes it a lot easier to defend his boats with just a few anti-air destroyers. With that number halved. Attack's diversifying his navy and pushing out further. So I got a much better, like, unfortunately all those beasts though, they were a problem. But this is a huge lake full of fish. Whereas on this side it's just landmass really. So that's really good for this team if they can keep control of this. Starting to get doubled here on the water. Rva is sending some air. But we don't nearly have enough frigates to deal with this. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of enemy frigates to ours, and then the destroyers as well. They really need to be focused down, or they just, once they get on top, they just annihilate the boats. Some strike mechs doing a bit of harass here to Yoda, who seems to have started to transport these nerfs away. Slowly but surely. Still not been found. No air here for our rebel friend. Surprising. We've been pushed off the water here. It's just flying over Esty's base with all these nerfs that could have rightfully been his. He's pigging out the transport. So Rva trying to save us here, but there's not really anything left to save. So we're just going to have to change things up and maybe start farming. And again, all the fish are on this side of the map here, on this big lake. Due to the recent attacks that the beasts have suffered, they've formed a gang over here. This boy's on lookout, looking for any of attacks. Oh, this guy as well. He's close to death. So it looks like this transport's with a bit of a fail and not actually dropped off the nerfs. It's just going to go back here with the nerfs already in it. So we'll be making a third trip, it would seem. So 4 up here for Thrawn. those rebel speeders out, make sure they don't take any damage from mechs. RV posturing here. Maybe looking to try and position himself to defend this island. That's maybe the advantage of this side, is that the island's closer, I would say. A lot easier to get on top of it, I think, and position your units. Some strike mechs being sent out here to harass Thrawn. Again, if you get some speeders out, they really are not going to do much without some anti-air. Put the game time back on. It's weird to not have that on. So the Gungans don't really have an advantage when they're mirrored like this, because they can detect, so they can each see each other's invisible frigates. Looks like Thrawn picking up more of these holocrons. He's so close to finding these nerfs. Some strike mechs getting into some good positions here. Do some damage. This carbon line's quite harassable. A lot of workers getting gunned down here. Only the one speeder out as of yet. Tons of workers going down. Already discussing who's going to be getting on the air here. Esty being the only Civ capable of Tech Level 4 air. He's being volunteered by the team, but he seems to be hurting from the early aggression he suffered. Looks like this guy's still going for it. I've got fast fighters here from Yoda. Let's look at a cheese and do some damage on the workers here. This is horrible for us to deal with. Cruisers, because this water's been pretty much just taken away from us. To start building the way down here. Move away from the coastline so that the cruisers can't harass us too much. Full army, looking to counter it again. Got some anti-air mobiles this time. Just try to catch Thrawn out, because he might be relying on speeders just to keep himself safe from this kind of aggression. And it's nice to be attacker, because there's no way we can deal with this on the water. These guys have been very busy. I don't know if they're on patrol or what, but they're flying about an awful lot. The advanced fighters now from the Galactic Empire. Doing some damage, picking off some workers here and there. Heavy destroyers from attack here. Just got normal frigates for RV at the moment. Let's attack. Chilling there, waiting for these pummels that have been dropped. Try and kill the wall. Get in there and do some damage. Try to relieve some of this pressure. Super aggressive play. You see Thrawn's gone T4 and just playing sort of scumbag rebels, just the speeders and Jedis and such. Not really too much eco. Just going for all the harassy, techie units. These pummels getting on top of these buildings, shredding them down. Yoda still flying about, looking to do some damage. Get the most out of those advanced fighters he's invested in. Knock these hollows out of the temple, it's good. He's got 3 holocrons. Very difficult for him to deal with this army, because most of the resources are in air or water here. But with all these buildings around the units, there is room for outplaying with the speeders, trying to pick them off at angles. Gonna get that Jedi, I think. Oh, life without research tracking. He just escapes. Right, we're going to get raided with a T4 air. Definitely hurts. Big weakness of aggressive T3 plays like this. See that attacks rallying in some Mounties here as well, which is really going to help. Even some MDs. He's made a huge forward here to support Thrawn. That's not good for the attack here that we're doing. I think without that we'd probably be able to kill all this and just keep dropping pummels over. But I'm gonna have to back off now because everything's getting sniped. And at the same time, loads of workers have been killed by the advanced fighters here. So Rva has decided, you know what, he's gonna move into this nice new little island full of Nova. The boys have been dropped. Not really any room, it would seem, for a command centre. You can build forts on hills, but you can't really build a command centre on something like that. But it should get the nice defensive hill bonus. Fort Gungan. And with that he's starting to move up into the deepest part of the sea here. And the advanced cruisers are being rallied over. Advanced frigates now, so getting that abusive Gungan navy set up. Yoda now raiding with mechs. Don't normally think that's too sensible with a rebel on the team, but he's not made any speeders, he's just running around chasing these bombers. So they're actually getting quite a lot of damage done. Starting to get a bit of a forward position as well. It's really nice, these open corners, if you want to build a lot of infrastructure. This guy's looking to set up their trade as well, since they're not going to be in the centre here. On this side of things, this poor worker is getting absolutely abused, and this strike mech is just looking the other way. Starting to get raided here with the air speeders. Bit of a sortie here in the centre. Attack making a trade here with Rva. He's taking down a lot of his frigates. But losing boats means nothing to a Gungan player. Well, I've been dropping some pummels here. Already killed a command centre, a power core over here. Looks like I'm going to get another command centre. Not really anything from this team to counter it. No air from Thrawn. So they're going to get the nurseries as well. And then all the units that should be probably pushing on us here are running back to deal with this. That's buying us a good amount of time. And all these workers have really been mucked about because they used to have a carbon processor here. And now they're, look at the distance they're running. Not the best. So Yoda now moving up on this side. Doesn't really have anything to kill buildings as yet, no cannons or anything, but he's made this fort here in this forward position. So you could see the cannons come out and start chipping away at Esty's base. Rva realising that he's going to need to make some ground units to support this side, just to hold him off. But he will be putting some pressure on here as he moves into the coastline. Kill prefabs, workers, nurseries, etc. Just sort of cut off the supply lines for this army. See with the Gungans, you can just have the two massive navies. Probably doesn't need the air anymore. Inefficient population now. loads of workers going down to these speeders. Really suffering. He's stuck in tech level 3. All reliant on the crazy, the pummel play. Not enough frigates here to properly trade with these heavy destroyers. Some forward underwater houses here from attack. A lot of traders. It's really important. A lot of the trade seems to be going this way, around Yoda's base, straight into the firing line of these frigates. Taking a lot of damage there. Yoda got some cannons out. He's starting to move up a little bit. I think he really needs to get the pressure on though. He's giving them a lot of time to set up before get some units out here. Spaceport being placed. Looks like we tried to make one, but Tuskcat said no. I don't think he was alone. Looks like there was about 4 Tuskcats there. This is tricky to deal with. This attack sends some mech destroyers here. They've got the speeders and the Jedi. Move their animals across here, but probably need to move them again. They were originally here, but with that coastline and the cruisers shooting at us, I had to move them. Decent amount of mech destroyers out here now on this side from RV to hold it. He's been caught here up against the landmass. Does have superior upgrades, looks like he's winning this trade. Maybe not enough frigates from attack. Destroyers would have been good in this position because there's nowhere to kite them to. You've got some shipyards up on the island now, so they don't have to sort of swim all the way across, right around the landmass. You just make them directly here. And if you can get on top of the shipyards of attack, that would put an end to his naval contributions to the game. So these speeders going around, and Jedi as well, super annoying and difficult to deal with. The cannons, completely guaranteed by these units. Killing buildings. Again, these frigates are holding. It's being super annoying here. Not too much out of Yoda, doesn't really want to move up. Giving them a lot of time. Speeders are out, mech destroyers are in place, the fort's up. And attack's being knocked off the water now as well. It's got this little location, but if you look at the numbers of boats in comparison. Yoda posturing now. Not too much anti-air here, just the T3 anti-air turrets. Don't really mean too much to the shielded speeders. So these cannons are just getting sniped. Try to expand down here, but a lot of speeders running around our base, killing all our workers. I think that's attacked completely off the water now. And with that, the advanced cruisers with their 19 range, as you can see, are just going to rain hellfire. Gungan energy balls on top of the buildings here. Which, to be honest, would be most of Thrawn's base is in range of the coastline. Speeders coming out here. There's not too much anti-air at the moment, so a lot of these boats are going down. But if you look at RV's resources, these units aren't even that expensive with the upgrades that they get. You'll be able to remax that no problem. A new fresh brigade of anti-air destroyers heading out, but They don't have anything to really protect themselves, so they'll be going straight back to the docks. As these speeders once again come to fly around our base and kill many workers. We're getting back into it though. Forever being attacked by beasts on the land. Whereas with attack, beasts in the water. You can see these guys are still here, not been cleaned up. Gonna send some mech destroyers just to clean this up and stop them killing 2 or 3 cargoes per minute. Bad times of a T4 yet? Absolutely not. But this is the difference, like having the island, having all the Nova. It's a huge advantage. Especially in terms of population as well, because each of these is going to cost you population, making these cargo hovercrafts to sustain your Nova income. And you often need a lot more of them in ratio than you would need workers just mining Nova. Big flank here from the heavy destroyers from Yoda. But there's so many boats here that the frigates are not really taking any damage. Is losing a lot of the anti-air though, that's the problem if air comes. Another wave, but these frigates kill them so quickly. And they bug out the targeting a bit as well because they could just sort of go invisible. Like when they're not firing, they just can't be seen. Unless you've got a detector unit. Oh, I think that was the last member of the gang. Murdered in the ocean. Again, remaxing on boats here, keeping the sea. Yoda doesn't really want to push on this side, and it's just going to throw destroyers here at the army. And the speeders here from Thrawn try to wipe it. Buying us some valuable time to stabilise. Little anti-Jedi force here. Kiting away to the safety of the turret. Some air now out for Esty. Be able to support this navy. Allow him to put more population into like cruisers or frigates rather than anti-air units. Again with the cannons. You're on the move, but doesn't want to push in. And now positioning on the coastline with the advanced cruisers. The homing now for the boats as well. 15 range on the anti-air destroyers. Excellent. There's a few here sitting at home who could come forward as well. Another fleet of destroyers here from Yoda, but there's so much here now. It's like a waste of resources. Need like double or triple that to wipe this army. Attack here from attack. It's not been the best coordinators from these three. So just going in one at a time and this army can deal with it all. And it's just absolutely smashing all the buildings here on the coastline. A lot of cannons been peeking forward, destroying buildings here. Just try to keep the hill, not die. Just hold things together. While the rest of our team are winning here out in the sea. The Yoda's pushed forward now. He's managed to gun down that fort. quick shield here from RVA. Build up the HP of his units here. And a new fort from Esty. Definitely need to hold this, they don't want to get overrun here. Because they've already got the sea, so if we can just hold from this side as well, and that's it. Some Jedi converting the cruisers here. Try to stall. I need to pick up these hollows, they've been taking out the temple. Or rather, the temple's been destroyed. Not best position from these boys. A lot of these guys are trying to get into the fight, but they're stuck. Definitely superior numbers here. Only 269 health though. Messed up the order of the upgrades. Surged forward now. Tons of GE max here. I don't think there's any speeders out, is there? Be a good time for some speeders. Even just a suicide into the turret. Kill a lot of these units. But it's shield versus no shield at the moment. Shield down now for Yoda. Nothing to remove this navy from the coastline though. And the shield goes down, so RV is going to have to retreat here. And the Sim City around this shield's a bit awful. It's going to mess up a lot of his units. And the Assault Mech's joining this army as well. Not looking good on this side. Lots and lots of damage being done by the boats. And stabilised on this side now, finally. Decent army out to push. Doesn't seem to be too much out for Thrawn, other than just like loads of speeders. Could probably wipe this army. Gonna need a lot more anti-air. Air cruiser cheese here, try to snipe at this army. So as you can see, it just had a turret to rely on. No anti-air mobiles or anything like that. So it seems to be taking a lot of damage from these AC shots. And Thrawn resigning here. Nothing to deal with the navy. I think he tried with the boats there. He's getting pushed on this side. And then he's losing bits of his base on this side. And it looks like Yoda's attack is just petered out here. It's been held. And there's a resign, so GG there. It's quite a fun map. It's good to see the navies getting used. And to be honest, to see how broken Gungans are in this type of scenario. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any feedback, be sure to leave a comment. And as always, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.